Welcome to the step-by-step guide on how to navigate the Drinking Water Watch website for lead and copper. This guide will provide comprehensive instructions on how to access information regarding your water system that will help ensure that you can find the data you need and avoid violations. This page provides an overview of what will be covered in the video. First, we'll provide an introduction to Drinking Water Watch and its general purposes. Then, we'll go into detail regarding the most used parts of the database for lead and copper purposes. These topics include how to find your water system and how to access and utilize the Public Water System or PWS main page, sample schedules, lead and copper sample results, water quality parameter sample results, FANLs, compliance schedules, violations, and milestones. Lastly, we'll discuss helpful tools and information that can assist you in understanding the area of Drinking Water Watch that you are accessing. Page numbers and timestamps are provided for each topic so that you can easily locate the information you need. Texas Drinking Water Watch is a publicly available database maintained by the Texas Commission on Environmental Quality that contains detailed information about public water systems. All data that is available to the public regarding public water systems can be found in this database. The home page, featured on this page, can be accessed at the URL listed at the bottom of the page. On this page, we will discuss how to find your water system in Drinking Water Watch. First, navigate to the website homepage URL listed in Step 1. Then, type your PWS ID into the box labeled Water System Number, or type the name of your system into the box labeled Water System Name. If the name you enter does not exactly match any systems in TCEQ records, you will be provided a list of similarly named systems to choose from. When you've finished inputting your information, click the gray button labeled Search for Water Systems to take you to the results page. Then, select the PWS ID that matches your system to get to the PWS main page for your water system. All other fields listed on this page are optional ways to search for public water system information. For example, you can use the Sample Search Parameters fields to look up Water Quality Parameter, or WQP, sample results. Detailed instructions on finding samples using this method can be found in the WQP sample results section of this video on page 18. On this page, we will discuss what information is available on the PWS main page and how to use these links to navigate to other sections of the database that are relevant to lead and copper. The PWS main page has been divided into 3 sections. Section 1 provides a series of links with general information, including TCEQ website locations, a searchable county map of Texas, and the Drinking Water Watch homepage. Section 2 of the PWS main page is the primary area that will be utilized to find more detailed data about the system, such as sample results, monitoring schedules, and violations. The bottom row also provides locations where you can find additional assistance. We'll cover commonly utilized options from this section in more detail on later pages. Sections 1 and 2 are available at the top of every web page in the Drinking Water Watch website so that you can easily navigate to the information you need. Section 3 of the PWS main page provides an overview of information about the PWS you have selected. Each of the abbreviations is explained in detail in the glossary found in Section 2. To find this information, click the glossary link and then click the link titled Water System Details. On the next few pages, we will cover how to find and understand lead and copper and WQP sample schedules. Sample, or monitoring schedules, inform the user of the specific sampling requirements for their system, such as number of required samples, time frame, and analytes. To navigate to the Sample Schedules page, you'll need to click the yellow link at the top of the page titled Sample Schedules/FANLs/Plans. This action will take you to a list containing all active sample schedules for your system. To find your lead and copper and water quality parameter schedules, scroll down to the table titled Group Non-TCR Sample Schedules. If you would like to see more detailed information regarding your current or upcoming sample schedules, click the link labeled Extended Sample Schedules/FANLs/Plans. This action will update the page to include a list of all analytes required for testing and the dates when your next sampling is due. Current and future monitoring dates will be listed in the column titled Analyte Group. On this page, we'll discuss what information is housed in each part of the sample schedule table. Facility provides information about the type of location associated with the water system, such as distribution systems, treatment plants, sources, etc. This information allows the operator to know which location the associated samples will need to be taken from. In this example, DSO1 is listed as the facility, indicating that the samples are representative of the distribution system. Other examples include ELCR or PBCU, which indicates samples were taken from an entry point. Begin-end date provides the first and last dates that the sample schedule is effective for. In other words, the system must sample within these dates for each monitoring period. When a date is listed as continuous, that means the schedule is an open and ongoing requirement. Season provides the calendar month and day during which the samples must be collected. For example, systems on an annual schedule must sample between the months of June and September. The season field will be blank for any monitoring period where the system can sample at any point within the begin-end dates. Initial MP begin date lists the first day of the monitoring period in which the system can begin sampling. Rex provides the required number of samples, the type, and the frequency. In this example, 20 samples are required. RT is the sample type, in this case, routine. 3Y stands for 3-year, meaning the system is required to conduct sampling once every 3 years. A full list and explanation of these abbreviations can be found in the glossary by clicking Sample Schedules and then Sample Type or Sample Frequency. Analyte Group provides information about what type of contaminants require testing. In this example, lead and copper sampling is required. Although the Group Non-TCR Sample Schedules table provides information about the analyte group, such as lead and copper or water quality parameters, it does not list each individual analyte that is required for testing in that group. If you would like information about individual substances, click the link in the Facility column of the table. This action will bring you to a more detailed table that lists each separate required analyte. On the next few slides, we'll discuss lead and copper sample results. There are multiple ways to view these results. First, we'll discuss the PBCU summaries method. To navigate to the lead and copper summaries, click the yellow link at the top of the page labeled PBCU summaries. This action will take you to a list of sample summary results associated for the 90th percentile and action levels for each monitoring period. On this page, you can view information regarding samples taken and determine if there have been any individual samples that have exceeded the action level, or if the samples in a monitoring period have exceeded the 90th percentile. 90th percentile exceedances are displayed in red. On this page, we'll discuss what information is housed in each part of the PBCU summaries table. MP begin date provides the first and last date of the monitoring period. Type designates whether the row pertains to 90th percentile or action level. Number of samples provides information about how many samples are included in the row. For rows labeled as 90th percentile, it will indicate the quantity of samples that were taken during the monitoring period. For action level rows, it will indicate how many samples exceeded the action level. Measure lists how much of an analyte was present in the sample. This number corresponds with the unit listed in the column to the right, labeled units. In this example, 2.6 milligrams of copper were present in 1 liter of water. Rows with a 90th percentile type will show the 90th percentile quantity of all samples. If the 90th percentile exceeds the action level, the measurement will be shown in red. Rows labeled as AL do not have any measurement in this field, as these rows only indicate if any sample has exceeded the action level. Units describes the size of measurement utilized. Analyte code /name describes the analyte being measured. There are separate entries for both lead and copper. Last sample date provides the date of when the last sample was taken in the monitoring period. For example, if samples were taken on multiple dates between January 3rd and February 7th, the date shown would be February 7th. More detailed information regarding each of these topics can be found in the glossary under Lead and Copper Summary Results. If you would like to view detailed information about individual samples, click the link in the MP Begin Date field. This action will take you to a new page with results for each individual sample taken during the monitoring period. On this page, we'll discuss what information is housed in each part of the detailed sample results table. Sample number provides the unique identifier the laboratory has associated with the sample. Site describes the sample point location. All sample points for a system can be found by clicking the yellow link on the PWS main page labeled Sample Points. Lead and copper sample point addresses are not publicly available. If you need this information, reach out to the Lead and Copper monitoring team using the contact information provided at the end of this video. Date provides the date that the sample was taken. Result provides the quantity of the analyte that was present in the sample. Units describes the size of measurement utilized. Analyte provides the name of the substance being measured in the sample. In this case, the field will designate either lead or copper. Laboratory provides the name of the laboratory that analyzed the sample. Detailed lead and copper sample results can also be found in the Chemical Results section of Drinking Water Watch. This method is best for comparing results with your chain of custody form, as the fields match most closely. To navigate to the sample results, click the yellow link on the PWS main page labeled chemical results. These results can be sorted either by name or analyte code. It is suggested to sort by name by clicking the link labeled Name in the Chemical Results field. This action will take you to a page that contains a list of analytes. Scroll down to the analyte you would like to view results for and click the link in the Analyte Code field for that row. On this page, we'll discuss what information is housed in each part of the chemical results table. Analyte name identifies which analyte was tested. Facility provides the type of location the sample was taken from. For example, lead and copper samples that are representative of the distribution system are labeled as DS01. Sample point provides information regarding which site location the sample was taken from. All sample points for a system can be found by clicking the yellow link on the PWS main page labeled Sample Points. Lead and copper sample point addresses are not publicly available. If you need this information, reach out to the lead and copper monitoring team using the contact information provided at the end of this video. Sample collection date lists the date the sample was taken. TCEQ sample ID and laboratory sample ID provide a unique identifier that is associated with the sample. The TCEQ sample ID field can sometimes be blank because it is often analogous to the laboratory sample ID. Method provides the type of scientific technique utilized to measure the sample. Less than indicator, level type, and reporting level indicate if a sample result was below the method reporting limit. If these fields are blank, that indicates that the sample result was not below the method reporting limit. The sample quantity will instead be listed in the next field, labeled Concentration. Concentration provides the amount of analyte present in the sample if it is above the method reporting limit. On the next few pages, we'll discuss WQP sample results. There are two ways to view these results. The first method we'll discuss is useful for systems that only use a single laboratory. The second method is most useful if you use multiple laboratories or pass-through laboratories to analyze your samples, as it displays the name of the laboratory that completed the analysis for each sample. Discussion on the second method begins on page 20. To find WQP sample results using the first method, navigate to the website homepage. Then, type your PWS ID into the box labeled Water System Number, or type the name of your system into the box labeled Water System Name, and choose Non-Coliform Samples in the Sample Class drop-down list, and then WQP Water Quality Parameters in the State Classification Code drop-down list. You can choose a time frame in the Date Range field or leave it blank to get results for all samples on record for your system. When you've finished inputting your information, click the gray button labeled Search for Samples to view the results page. Each sample that has been taken is displayed in a separate row on the table. To see results for each individual sample, click the link in the Lab Sample Number field. This action will bring you to a table containing results for all analytes that were tested from the WQP sample. On this page, we'll discuss what information is housed in each part of the WQP sample results table. Analyte name identifies which substance was tested. Method code provides the type of scientific technique that was utilized to measure the sample. Less than indicator, level type, and reporting level indicate if a sample was below the method reporting level. If these fields are blank or have a 0, That indicates that the sample result was not below the method reporting limit. The sample quantity will instead be listed in the next field, labeled concentration level. Concentration level provides the amount of analyte present in the sample, if it is above the method reporting limit. Monitoring period begin date and monitoring period end date provide the first and last day of the monitoring period in which the sample was taken. On this page, we'll discuss how to find WQP sample results using the chemical results section. This is the method that is best for systems that use multiple laboratories or pass-through laboratories to analyze their samples. To find WQP sample results using this method, click the yellow link at the top of the page titled Other Chemical Results. This action will bring you to a list of all non-TCR sample results for your system for the past 2 years. If you need to search for a different time period, you can use the date search at the top of the table. WQP sample results can be found by looking at the column titled Sample Point Description. Each sample on this page is separated by laboratory, so if multiple laboratories were used to analyze one sample, there will be multiple entries in the table for each sample. In this example, both City of Lake Place Water Department's internal lab and ABC Laboratories tested analytes for each sample, so the sample has 2 entries. Click the link in the Sample Number column to view detailed results for each laboratory. In this example, iron and sodium were analyzed by ABC Laboratories, while the other substances were analyzed by the city's internal laboratory. You can confirm that the sample matches your chain of custody form by using the Lab ID number field. On the next few slides, we'll cover how to find and understand your FANLs, or Facility Analyte Levels List. To navigate to the FANLs page, you will need to click the yellow link at the top of the page titled Sample Schedules/FANLs/Plans. This action will take you to a page that contains a table with FANLs for your system. To find your FANLs list, scroll down below the sample schedules to the table titled Facility Analyte Levels, FANLs. On this page, we'll discuss what information is housed in each part of the FANLs table. Site describes which sample site testing is required at. Analyte provides information about which substance is required for testing. A full list of analyte codes can be found in the glossary under Analyte Code. The level type, value, and units columns indicate the threshold analytes must remain within. For water quality parameters, analytes will have a level type indicator of either max or min, which specify if the value in the next column is the maximum or minimum amount allowed. For example, in the rows circled on the page, the table indicates that analyte 1925, which is associated with pH, must have a minimum pH of 7.4 and a maximum of 8.6. The begin date column describes the date when the requirement begins. The end date describes when the requirement ends. If the field says continuous, that means the schedule is open and ongoing with no end date designated. The days/month, samples/day, and MDBP type columns are not used for water quality parameters. Requirements for number and frequency of samples can be found in the sample schedule discussed on page 6 of this video. On the next few pages, we'll cover how to find and understand lead and copper compliance schedules. To navigate to the Compliance Schedules page, you'll need to click on the yellow link at the top of the page titled Compliance Schedules. This action will take you to a table containing information pertaining to compliance monitoring and reporting activities and due dates. On this page, we'll discuss what information is housed in the Compliance Schedules table. Sequence number, state ID, provides the unique identifier associated with the schedule. Type provides a description of the compliance schedule. Effective date/close date provides the dates when the compliance schedule became active and inactive. If the field says no closed date, that indicates that the schedule is still active and requires further action before it can be closed out. Status date provides the status of the compliance schedule and associated date. You can access more detailed information about each compliance schedule by clicking the blue link in the Sequence Number State ID field. The Activity Name field describes the actions that are required for the schedule. In this example, the lead consumer notification requires that systems send their notice out to both of their customers and the TCEQ. So there is an activity listed for each requirement. The due date, projected date, and achieved date/close date fields provide information about the dates associated with the schedule. The due date field specifies when each activity must be completed, and the achieved date/close date field indicates the actual date that each activity was completed by the system. On the next few pages, we'll cover how to find and understand lead and copper violations. To navigate to the Violations page, you'll need to click the yellow link at the top of the page titled Violations. This action will take you to a list containing all resolved and unresolved violations for your system. To find your lead and copper violations, scroll down to the table titled Individual Violations. You can use this page to determine if any violations still require action to be returned to compliance. On this page, we'll discuss what information is housed in each part of the violations table. Violation number includes the 4-digit year during which the violation was issued and a unique identifying number. Compliance period provides the first and last dates of the compliance or monitoring period during which the violation occurred. In this example, the system is on a triennial or 3-year schedule, which requires sampling during the months of June and September of the 3rd year. The compliance period field only provides the start and end dates of the period and does not include any seasonality requirements. Violation type code provides the 2-digit violation code assigned by the EPA. For example, a violation with a 52 code is a monitoring and reporting violation associated with not completing lead and copper tab sampling requirements. Violation name provides a description of the violation code. Analyte code provides the EPA assigned code that describes which analytes are associated with the violation. All violations associated with the lead and copper rule will have a 5000 code. Analyte name provides a description of the rule program associated with the analyte code. Has the violation been addressed? On the path to compliance? Provides information regarding whether enforcement action has been taken on the violation. If yes, it will specify if the reach out was formal or informal. Informal action includes actions that are intended to bring a system back into compliance without consequence. including notices of violation, site visits, compliance meetings, injunctions, and public notices. Formal action includes actions with enforceable consequence within a time frame if the schedule is not met. This includes issuance of administrative orders, assessing fines, or referring civil or criminal cases to state or federal legal agencies. Has the violation been resolved, returned to compliance? Indicates whether the violation has been returned to compliance or if more action is required to do so. If you would like to see more detailed information regarding a particular violation, click the link in the Violation Number field. This action will take you to a new page with detailed information regarding the corresponding violation. The Enforcement Actions section of the page provides information about which actions have been taken by the TCEQ and water system to rectify the violation. More detailed information regarding each category in this table can be found in the glossary under Violation Detail. On the next few pages, we'll cover how to find and understand lead and copper milestones. To navigate to the Milestones page, you'll need to click the yellow link at the top of the page titled Milestones. On this page, we'll discuss what information is housed in each part of the Milestones tab. Type specifies the category of milestone that was achieved. For example, PB90 indicates that the system has had an action level exceedance for lead. A full list of milestones and their descriptions can be found in the glossary under Milestones and then Type. Date provides the date the milestone occurred. Value provides the numeric value associated with the milestone, if applicable. For example, the 90th percentile value for the copper exceedance on this page is 1.7 milligrams per liter. Some milestones do not have a value associated with them, such as CCSR, which means a corrosion control study is required. These types will have a 0 in the value field. Status indicates if the milestone has been validated or not by the TCEQ. The three options include V for validated, P for primary, and R for rejected. On this page, we'll discuss tools that can be helpful in understanding the information provided in Drinking Water Watch. The glossary provides in-depth information regarding the different terms used throughout the site. It can be found by clicking the yellow link on the PWS main page labeled Glossary. This action will bring up the glossary index, which can be used to search for the section of the site you need more information about. This concludes our video on navigating Drinking Water Watch for lead and copper. We hope this information helps you feel more confident about accessing information related to your water system. If you have any questions, you can reach out to the Lead and Copper Monitoring Team at the following contact information.